Morning. I am about to make the orange and almond cake, which is really delicious. And the reason I've chosen this one is because I did a course with Jo Whitten. So I was helping her at a workshop not that long ago before Christmas. And one of the things that really stuck with me, and it is also something that I sort of have been following for a long time, but it just was just a reminder that that is what I try and do. And that is that whenever you're making something, how can you get more nutrition into it? So I'm making a cake, yes, but what I'm doing is by doing the orange and almond cake, I have fruit in there and I've got protein in the nuts. So, I mean, it's also gluten-free, which of course is perfect. But that's why I'm doing that. So if I do a chocolate cake, I generally do Health by Chocolate and I make it as mini muffins. But again, that's got almonds in it, so it's got your nuts in it. It's just a bit more nutritious than flour. I'm just got a bit of a thing about flour. I do use it a bit, and I got some gluten-free, beautiful gluten-free flour, which does have nutrition in it. But I just sort of think if there's another way of doing things which feeds your body better, why not do that? So I'll show you the recipe in a minute. I have pre-boiled my oranges because they cook in the simmering basket for 45 minutes. Great thing about that is you can go out in that time. You don't have to worry about them. If you were doing that on a stovetop, you'd be watching the water level, etc., and making sure that, they hadn't boiled dry. So I love the fact that I can just pop them in there and set them off and they get going. The other thing is I do actually have some caster sugar. If you don't have caster sugar and you make it, you need to make your caster sugar before you start. Do it with a dry bowl. Okay, so it's always a really good idea to look through a recipe and just see what ingredients are required, because sometimes it will say almond meal and you're partway through and you go, oh bugger, I didn't do the almond meal at the beginning. Luckily enough, I have 2 bowls, so I can just take one bowl off and put the other one on and make my almond meal, but not everybody's as fortunate as me. So just always being mindful to read a recipe first. Is there anything I need to make before I actually get started? Okay, going on from there. Let's just hope this is okay, and that's okay. You can see that. All right. Just check my volume too. Move that up a bit. Okay. Hopefully you guys all heard that before. Start cooking. So we've got a litre of water. So this is the bit that I've already done. Simmering basket in. You put your 2 whole oranges in there. And just make sure they don't totally occlude the hole on top of the simmering basket. So when they're in there, make sure this isn't just totally blocked. All right. Pop the lid on with the measuring cup and you cook for 45 minutes. All right, that's all done. Remove it with your with your spatula. Oh, there it is. Found it. Okay. And then we're going to go on with the next thing. So I did that a little while ago. My bowl, I emptied it. It's actually dried itself. Nice of it. So it says grease and line is springform. So 180 degrees in the oven. Grease and line is springform tin. I don't make it as a whole cake. I've got my little mini muffin things here, silicone. Don't have to grease them. And they pop out so easily. So I love them. Obviously, you can do it as a cake if you want to do it as a birthday cake or something like that. But these are just for, snack lunch, snacks to go in lunches or whatever. Okay, in a dry mixing bowl. So we're going to put 250 grams of almonds in. I'm just going to tear that. Just raw almonds. Ten seconds, speed 9. Okay, those of you who are new to Thermomix, just tap the screen and that will stop the noise. There you go, got our almond meal. I'm just going to scrape around so that it's all loosened up. Now, 250 grams of caster sugar. 250 grams of caster sugar. Now, I don't tend to use as much sugar as it says in these recipes, in all of the Thermomix recipes, really. But one lesson which you may have heard me talk about before is that you cannot halve it. When you halve it, you change the structure of the cake. So you can decrease it by 30%. So 30% is going to be, oh, that's more than that, isn't it? So 3 into 25, 3 sevens, 140. Yeah, my brain's not working. I think I've decided I'd use 180. So I'm going to put my caster sugar in. As I said, I've made this. I had this in the cupboard anyway. There we go. All right. 3 eggs. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Only I forgot to get something. There's a teaspoon. We'll do a little guess on a teaspoon. There we go. Gluten-free baking powder. Reserved orange segments. So the orange, the skin is still on, but remember it's all boiled. So I'm just going to pop those in. And it smells delicious. Almost smells like marmalade. So beautiful. 20-second speed 7. I'm going to chop up the oranges. Pour the mixture into the prepared tin and bake for 40 to 45 minutes at 180. There is the mixture. All right, and obviously I'm not pouring it straight into a tin. I'm going to pop it into my silicone. I'm not going to do the whole lot with you guys here because that'll be super boring. I love this spatula. It's a little spatula, little silicone one. I find it's just a really nice size. So what I tend to do with this is I go around, I fill, you know, I put some mixture in all 24 of these, and then I'll go back and add if I think I have got more to spare. So then these are going to go in the oven. Honestly, it's not going to take 45 minutes in small containers like this. But, you know, maybe 25, 30 minutes. I'll check them. And I'm just going to do that by, you know, as I learned at school many years ago, just feel the top, make sure that it feels like it's cooked properly. The other thing I learned was if it's still sort of sizzling or whatever, then you need to let it cook a little bit longer too. Anyway, I will keep going with this. However, if you want a super easy cake now, oh, I should say that what it does after this, you make an orange sugar syrup. I'm not doing that because I don't put it on these. But if you're doing the whole cake, make the orange sugar syrup as well. It's all in the recipe, and then you just pour it over the cake, and it just soaks in. It makes it even more moist. But these are really moist cakes anyway, and they are delicious. I'm going to have a very happy husband tonight when he gets home.